When a pope speaks, people listen, and they've stepped into politics at moments that shaped history. Let me explain. The Vatican's role during the rise of Hitler and Mussolini is one of the most controversial chapters in its history. In 1929, Pope Pius XI signed the Lateran Treaty with Mussolini's government, restoring the Holy See's sovereign status in Rome and giving Mussolini the appearance of the Church's moral backing. But by 1938, Pius XI was increasingly breaking with fascism. He refused to meet Hitler during the dictator's visit to Rome and had ordered a draft encyclical condemning racism and anti-Semitism. He had also planned a separate address to the Italian bishops for February 11, 1939, but died on February 10 before either could be delivered. His Secretary of State, Eugenio Pacelli, did not publish the document and was later elected Pope, taking the name Pius XII. By late 1942, reports of mass murder from Warsaw, Lviv, and Auschwitz had reached the Vatican. In October 1943, the Nazis rounded up more than 1,000 of Rome's Jews and detained them in a military college near St. Peter's Square. Vatican records show there was internal debate over whether Pius XII should protest publicly, but he chose not to. The deportation train left for Auschwitz. Of those deported, only 16 survived. In 1965, as the Vietnam War escalated, Paul VI became the first pope to address the United Nations with the direct message, "No more war, war never again." He met President Lyndon B. Johnson twice and urged for a peaceful end to the war. In 1979, John Paul II, the first Polish pope, returned to his homeland behind the Iron Curtain and drew massive crowds. About a year later, Solidarity, Poland's first independent trade union, emerged and grew into a mass movement. The Berlin Wall fell a decade later, signaling the collapse of the Soviet-led communist bloc. Pope Francis made public moral intervention a defining feature of his papacy. In Laudato Si', he framed climate change as a moral issue with political consequences. During Israel's war in Gaza, Pope Francis called for a ceasefire, the release of hostages, and humanitarian aid for people in Gaza. He also regularly called the Holy Family Parish, the occupied territory's only Catholic church, to check on the people sheltering there. And now Leo XIV, the first American pope, has spoken out against the U.S.-Israeli war in Iran and the Trump administration's treatment of migrants. The name he chose points back to Leo XIII, who commented on the big social changes of the industrial age. His 1891 encyclical Rerum Novarum laid the foundations of modern Catholic social teaching. It argued that workers have rights and that economies have moral obligations. So the question isn't whether popes get political. They do. But do you think they should?